Could the world's history over the past century be meticulously orchestrated by a hidden group of powerful individuals? Welcome to the enigmatic world of the 100-year plan conspiracy theory. In our quest to understand and make sense of the world around us, we often find ourselves questioning the status quo. We wonder, could there be more to the story than meets the eye? Could there be a grand narrative, a master plan, that's been silently shaping the course of history for over 100 years? This is the intriguing premise of the 100-year plan conspiracy theory. Imagine a secretive group of individuals, a shadowy cabal, comprised of the world's most influential elites, corporations, and politicians. According to this theory, they have been orchestrating events in a meticulous and calculated manner, all part of a long-term strategy that spans a century. Their goal? To exert control over global affairs, economics, and societal development for their own benefit. Wars, economic crises, technological advancements, political movements, seemingly separate incidents are believed to be carefully engineered steps in the execution of this plan. The theory suggests that these are not random occurrences but rather deliberate manipulations designed to advance the hidden agenda of this powerful group. And it doesn't end there. The conspiracy theory posits that the masterminds behind the plan have ensured its continuity and adaptability over time, passing down their objectives and strategies through generations. The ultimate aim? To establish a global hegemony, where they have complete control over governments, economies, resources, and the flow of information worldwide. Proponents of the theory claim to have uncovered cryptic symbols, patterns, and signatures left behind by the orchestrators, serving as evidence of their influence and manipulation. They see themselves as part of a resistance movement, striving to expose the truth and disrupt the plans of this clandestine group before their agenda reaches its fruition. Critics, however, dismiss this theory as unfounded speculation and paranoia. They argue that significant global developments are the result of a complex interplay of factors, rather than a single orchestrated scheme. So, is the 100-year plan conspiracy theory just a product of overactive imaginations, or does it hold some truth? Is it fact, or is it fiction? Is this theory just paranoia, or does it have roots in reality? Let's delve deeper. The 100-year plan theory suggests that the blueprint for global domination was laid down over a century ago. Let's delve into the origins of this intriguing theory, shall we? The alleged masterminds of the plan, a secretive group of influential elites, are said to have started plotting their course of action more than 100 years ago. This wasn't a hastily prepared scheme, it was a meticulously designed strategy for the long haul. Imagine it like a game of chess where the players are thinking not just one, but several moves ahead. Only in this case, the chessboard is our world, and the pieces are major events and developments that shape our societies. The inception of the 20th century marked the birth of this audacious plan. During this period, the world saw significant shifts, from the rise of industrialization to the start of global conflicts. The theorists believed that these weren't just random occurrences but calculated moves in the grand scheme of things. Take the two world wars, for instance. These catastrophic events altered the global balance of power, creating opportunities for new leaders to emerge and old ones to solidify their positions. According to the theory, these wars were part of the plan's initial stages, orchestrated to set the stage for future dominance. And then there's the technological revolution. From the birth of the internet to the advent of artificial intelligence, the rapid pace of technological advancements in the past century has been unprecedented. But if you ask a believer in the 100-year plan theory, they'll tell you it was all part of the plan. These breakthroughs, they argue, have been used to control information flow and manipulate public opinion, further advancing the hidden agenda. From world wars to technological revolutions, every major event is seen as a piece of a grand puzzle. But remember, while this theory might sound convincing, it is just that, a theory. It's up to you to decide whether to buy into it or not. Proponents of this theory claim to find cryptic symbols and patterns left behind by the orchestrators. It's almost like a secret language, one that's hidden in plain sight, yet only decipherable by those who know what to look for. Consider this: a recurring motif in corporate logos, architectural structures, and even in the layout of certain cities. These aren't merely aesthetic choices or coincidences, according to believers of the 100-year plan theory. Instead, they're viewed as intentional markers, left by the architects of this grand scheme, a testament to their influence and manipulation. For instance, there's the all-seeing eye, an ancient symbol often associated with omniscience and control. You might recognize it from the US dollar bill. Believers argue that its prevalence in various forms across the globe is a telltale sign of the plan's reach. Then, there are the numbers. Certain numbers, they say, hold particular significance for the orchestrators. Numbers like 3, 7, and 13, often seen in prominent dates, financial figures, and even in the timing of significant events. Is it mere coincidence, or is there a pattern? Let's not forget about the coded language. According to believers, those behind the plan communicate their intentions through subtle messages in speeches, press releases, and media platforms. They argue that these messages, once decoded, reveal the true intentions of the so-called puppet masters. Of course, skeptics argue that these are mere coincidences, patterns that the human mind naturally seeks out. They say that it's all part of a phenomenon known as apophenia, the tendency to perceive connections and meaningful patterns among unrelated things. But for the believers, these signs and symbols are far from random. They view them as a clandestine language, a way for the orchestrators to signal their moves to each other, and, ironically, to flaunt their control in plain sight. These hidden signatures, they claim, are breadcrumbs leading to the truth. Are they just looking too closely, seeing connections where none exist? Or are they onto something? That's for you to decide. The ultimate goal of the 100-year plan? A world under their control. So the theory goes, suggesting that a clandestine group of powerful individuals has been patiently and methodically putting the pieces in place for a global takeover. Imagine a world where every government, every economy, every piece of information is under the control of this unseen hand. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? According to the 100-year plan conspiracy theory, this is the endgame. The theory suggests that every major event, every war, every economic crisis, every technological advancement, and every political movement has been a calculated move in a grand game of chess, played out over a century. The goal to establish a world order where they hold all the power. But how does one gain such control? Well, the theory posits that it's through influence and manipulation. This power isn't seized overnight, it's accumulated slowly, subtly over generations. The alleged conspirators, a mix of elites, corporations, and politicians, are said to have embedded their influence deep within the structures of power, from governments to financial institutions to media outlets. They don't just manipulate the present, but they shape the future too. By controlling the flow of information, they can steer societal development and public opinion in their favor. It's not just about controlling what we see and hear, but also about influencing what we think and believe. The goal is not just to control the tangible, the governments and economies, but also the intangible, the minds of the masses. In this way, they can mold reality to fit their own narrative and agenda. And yet, the theory remains just that, a theory. Concrete evidence is hard to come by, and skeptics argue that the world is far too complex and chaotic to be controlled by a single group, no matter how powerful. They contend that global events and trends are the result of a myriad of factors, and not the machinations of a shadowy cabal. A dystopian future or a groundless fear, the debate continues. For believers, awareness is the first step to resistance. In the shadowy corridors of this conspiracy theory, proponents see themselves as the unsung heroes in a world where the puppet masters pull the strings from behind a curtain of secrecy. They are the resistance, the proverbial David to the alleged Goliath, a powerful and elusive cabal. They strive to expose the truth, to pull back the curtain and reveal the puppet masters in all their dubious glory. Their mission? To disrupt the meticulously woven tapestry of the supposed 100-year plan. They see themselves as the keepers of truth, the bearers of the torch that lights the dark corners of this world, revealing the unseen machinations of the so-called puppet masters. Every major event, every political movement, every economic crisis, and every technological advancement are scrutinized under their watchful eyes. They believe that these are not just random occurrences in the course of human history, but carefully orchestrated steps in the execution of a grand plan. To them, the threads of manipulation run so deep they can be traced back over a century. Their methods of resistance vary, but the common denominator is the quest for truth. Some delve into extensive research, tracing the alleged patterns and signatures left behind by the orchestrators of the plan. Others engage in public discourse, striving to open the eyes of the masses to the supposed manipulation happening right under their noses. And then there are those who take it upon themselves to confront the supposed orchestrators, challenging them head-on in the battlefield of ideas. They are the self-proclaimed guardians of freedom, the defenders of sovereignty, the warriors against a global hegemony that they believe is slowly but surely taking shape. Their battle cry? Awareness, their weapon, the truth. Whether you believe in the 100-year plan or not, it certainly provides food for thought.